Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of Jump Around Weekly, October 26th. I am really fired up today. It's going to be an awesome show. We've got our little guy on from Hettinger, North Dakota, Kyle Burwick.
Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for giving me the opportunity to talk to all of our fans and everybody that keeps up with us.
All right. Well, yeah, this is going to be a great one. Let me start off. We'll get right into it. You know, Kyle, I know you have a lot of pride in your hometown of Hettinger, a very small place. You know, North Dakota is near and dear to your heart. Talk to us a little bit about, growing up in a small town and some of your values.
Well, I mean, growing up in Hettinger is just like, it's got a really, really, really big place in my heart. You know, I'm a really big homeboy type, I made such really close connections with and relationships with my teammates and their families. And, there wasn't a lot of us in school. I had less than 10 guys in my class alone. And, we only had 20, 25 kids on the team most years. So, I got to know their parents really well, and they would give you the shirt off their backs to help you or anybody else on the team. So I just feel like we had, and we have a really good tradition of just hard work and just compassion for all of our teammates and everything. And I think that was one of the big things why I chose coming to Wisconsin to wrestle for you guys and wrestle with a team that we have and the guys that we have, because it reminds me of home. It reminds me of the tradition we have and had as Nighthawks and Black Devils before that. And just the teams that we continue to build and have built in the past. So it's just, it reminds me a lot of home.
Yeah, I'll never forget when I came out and saw you on your home visit. The drive to Hettinger was one of the best drives I've ever had in my life. That was a long, I think about 2-hour drive. And
yep.
I was worried about getting a flat tire or something because I didn't see anybody or anything in those 2 hours. But you know what? The drive going there was a lot better because I didn't know if you were coming to Wisconsin when I left. I was a little scared.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't have a real good meeting when I left. But anyway, talk about your transition to Madison now. It's a little bigger place. You've been here a year now. Talk about, I know it might have been a little difficult for you, but how are you settling in now?
Right away, I knew it was going to be a little bit of a culture shock, just a little faster pace of life, a lot more traffic, a lot more people, a little bit more urban than I was living in. But I knew going into it that I needed to have an open mind and just stay positive and really, really staying close with my teammates and my coaches and my practice partners. And then, mom and dad and the rest of the family were only a phone call away if I ever need them. And they always will be. And I'm really grateful for that. And so I had an open mind going into it, and just knowing that, I'm going to be better off with the experience, getting out and experiencing new things and just getting out of my comfort zone. That was kind of the biggest part. And now I love it. There's no place like Madison, honestly. I mean, it's just a really special place, and it's always going to have a special place in my heart now. And I feel comfortable. I feel welcomed. And I just, this is the place to work hard and bust your ass and win.
Yep. So what people don't know too, Kyle, this is a good little story. What people don't know is you're a tough guy, right? 5-time state champ. But tell everybody the story about how I found out how really your mom is the toughest Burwick in the family.
Well, my dad at the time, he couldn't make the trip out to my official visit with me at the time. It was during football season. My dad's a head football coach at the school, and so we had a really busy time. And my mom was like, all right, I'll fly out with you and we'll go visit. And she was just like, wow, Dad should probably be the one to go. I'm like, no, Mom, you're my parent too. I mean, I want you on this trip with me. And we got out there, and we were at the time I was a little bit stunned. I was like, wow, there's a lot of traffic, a lot of one-ways and stuff. And so I wasn't really paying attention. I think we were actually crossing University because we were going down to the terrace, or we were coming back from the terrace back over to Camp Randall. And they had a bunch of those big construction signs that had the sandbags holding them down. And we were walking across that crosswalk there. And I think my mom was doing kind of the same thing too. She was looking around sightseeing, and we were listening to you guys talking about campus and stuff. And she tripped on that sandbag and she fell hard. And I couldn't catch her in time, and she fell hard, and she popped up right away, and she took it like a champ. She said, "No, I'm just fine." She scraped up her hands and her knees, and she was wearing nice clothes, and I was wearing, sweats and Wisconsin wrestling gear, and you guys were just like, "That's North Dakota tough right there."
She hopped right back up and didn't even miss a beat. Blood and gravel in her palms.
Yeah, and she was like, no, don't mind me. I'm tough. We got this. Keep going.
The worst part about it was that just put your dad like down to the third toughest Burwick. Right?
I know. And he's gonna be watching this, and then he's gonna. I can already tell he's gonna be laughing right now.
That's it, dude. Well, we love you, and it's gonna be a special year.
Oh yeah, for sure, Coach.
Hey, B, I want to change gears real quick and talk about your dad. I know he plays a special part in your career and your life, and he's been a great mentor for you. Talk a little bit about how special it was having him in your corner. Coach Burwick, 3-time All-American, NAIA national champion. So just an unbelievable mentor to have growing up. Talk about how special it was, and then I want you to talk about how special it was winning that 5th title with your dad in the corner.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I just had it in my blood, growing up with, he never pushed it on me and said, "You have to do this. You have to do it." He said, "I'm here to guide you along the path, and I'm going to show you the direction, and you got this. I'll support you tenfold along the way." And, it was just, I'm so very grateful for my dad and just having that mentorship like you were talking about. And it's such an interesting dynamic that not a lot of wrestlers or athletes in general get to have, that, one of their parents, or let alone their dad, is their coach, So it was an interesting dynamic because coming from a practice or a competition setting to home, it was Coach Burwick, and then it was my dad, it was Pops. So, and sometimes the line kind of got over, but that's what made it such a dynamic and awesome experience. And I'm so very grateful that he was able to be my coach for as long as he was competitively. And that only made it that much more certain that I needed to have a strong coaching presence that was going to bring the best out in me, which is why I came to Wisconsin, and I followed you guys out here, and I was like, I'm bought in. So, it's just, I'm really, really grateful for him and for him to be that supportive of me and just love me through all the ups and downs, and support me training by myself, summer in, summer out. He was willing to drive me 3-4 hours one way and back just to work out, just to get any experiences that I could to get to the level that I wanted to be. And then I mean, I talked about it directly, right after the match, after that 5th state title. It was like, to me, it felt like destiny. It was just, that was what I wanted to achieve, and I wasn't going to let anybody stand in my way. And, it was just, I remember saying, this is everything. It was the culmination of, my high school career, and it wasn't perfect. I made mistakes and I learned from them, and that's the whole process. The whole goal was to be a junior national champion, junior freestyle national champion. I fell short, and do I regret any work I did towards that? No. Do I know what I needed to improve on to get to the level where I want to be now and wrestle at the Division I level, be an NCAA All-American, Big Ten champion, NCAA champion? For sure. So having him in my corner, it was just, it was the cherry on top. It was, he believed in me, and that just made it that much more apparent that I can do anything I set my mind to.
That's awesome. That's great. I know he's very proud of you, and he's excited about what's coming up this year. And as Badger fans, as you can see, he's a special one. He's a special one. So I'll let Coach Gross. I'll let Coach Gross take over here.
Yeah. I was just gonna jump off that a little bit. So it's no surprise with your work ethic, just how dominant you were in high school, and you had that support system. What do you've been in the year now, college scene for a year now. What do you see being the biggest kind of hurdle you have to get over as far as the wrestling? Is how different is it? And I know you have some big goals on the college level, so kind of bouncing off that too is, what do you need to do to reach those goals?
Yeah, I mean, last year was a learning experience that, at some times I felt like I was pretty low, and I wasn't exactly sure about, what direction I should be moving in. And I just knew that if I stayed faithful and I stayed committed to the coaches and to the whole game plan, that it was going to pay off, and I knew that it was going to come from a technical standpoint. I know that I got a work ethic that, I can outwork anybody I put my mind to. I can have a gas tank that can go as long as I need it to go. I know that technical wise, I feel like there's a lot of things that I am working on, and I feel like I've gotten a lot better on, but I'm always open to learning and consciously focusing on making an effort to work on finishing my shots, getting their feet up off the mat, looking for ways that I can't open up scrambles. That's a big part. There wasn't a whole lot of scrambling in North Dakota, honestly, but there's no excuses for anything like that. So I'm taking every resource that I can. We got some of the best wrestling minds in our room, and so like there's nothing better than that, and just staying committed. And I can see the progress, and I got a long ways to go, but I'm very happy with the route I'm on, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fun. I've been around for the whole year, and just the improvement you've already made is unbelievable. So there's no doubt, and I know all our minds that you're going to do some amazing things on the college scene. And man, we're lucky to have you here, Kyle.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah, Kyle, we'll never forget, how it all started in a small plane hangar in Hettinger, North Dakota, right? That's where it all started. Yeah. And we're gonna be celebrating your championships here in Wisconsin very soon. The last thing before we get into some of these questions from our fans are, what's your major? And talk to us a little bit about what did you do your first semester? I know academics are very, very important to you.
Yep. It was one of those things where I knew that if I got the academic part all down and the way you guys kind of laid it out for me, it was like Wisconsin was kind of a no-brainer. It was such a great college. And for me, it's got a really good education school. So I'm actually working on applying to the physical education program right now. I just got my certifications back from the Red Cross for CPR and life support and stuff like that. So I'm going to go into physical education just like my pops and just like his older brother, my Uncle Keith. And, I just like father, like son, kind of the cliche like that. But, I want to coach one day, and I want to take the knowledge that I learned as an athlete and from the great mentors that I've had and coach up a new generation in the future. So teaching and coaching go hand in hand, I feel like. So going right into physical education, and I'm happy about that moving forward.
Awesome. We appreciate you being on, buddy, and I know Jess has some questions for us from our fans.
Gotcha.
Yeah, off Instagram, we had a number of people writing questions for you, Kyle. So first of all, what weight are you going to wrestle at, or what are you thinking about?
133 this year.
All right. So that was from Nakota Siegel is interested in that. What are your individual goals for this year? What are you thinking about?
Well, I got some pretty lofty goals this year, especially now that we know that, this is an eligibility free type year that, we're going to get this year back. So the goal has always been the same. I write it down every single day in my room, and I want to be an NCAA national champion. And to get there, I know that I need to be the starter, and I got it written down on my wall just now. I need to win my first wrestling match right out of the gate, be the varsity guy, and then focus on separating myself, and instead of beating the good guys by 1 or 2, beat them by 3 or 4, 5 or 6, then start getting bonus. So.
Who has been your favorite person to wrestle? Chance Burns asked specifically who your favorite person to wrestle from North Dakota was, but we can open it up if you'd like to pick North Dakota and in general.
Well, I guess I'll go back to North Dakota real quick. My favorite, the favorite guy that I loved to have competitions with was Ryan Ripplinger from Bismarck High, and him and I are good friends, and we went back and forth, and you know, it was great times. But in the room, you know, there was nothing like wrestling with Coach Gross or Seth Gross, you know, and Seth's got such a unique feel to wrestling that, you know, I feel, and it's so high level that, I mean, you're not going to get much better of a feel for the top elite college guys than Seth right there. So it's really fun.
Seth, anything to add to that?
Yeah. No, it's fun. It's fun wrestling with these guys. They start learning my little tricks, so I got to take a few days away from Burwick so he doesn't learn all the tricks, then I'll go back and whoop him.
Yeah.
Well, that hurts my feelings, Berwick, too.
Hey, Bono, come on, man. You're one-dimensional, man. You're a one-hit wonder.
I thought we had fun wrestling, Berwick, but I guess
Oh, come on, Coach. Come on. That, you know, close second.
All right.
We've got one last question specifically for Kyle. Kyle, what's your favorite conditioning drill? We get a lot of younger wrestlers and other coaches that watch. Do you have a favorite drill you like to share?
Yeah. We actually did them the other day when it was a little bit too cold out when we were done doing our live goes, and Coach Reeder has us doing monkey rolls. And I actually did those in high school, and Coach Burwick had us doing them, and we'd get pretty intense. So it's a good, you know, kind of nostalgic feel that we just try and bust our butts for a minute or 30 seconds and do monkey rolls and get dizzy as fast, you know, as hard as we can. But it's actually a really good conditioning drill if you do it the right way. So,
hey, when I think of monkey rolls, I think of least favorite, not favorite. But
well, hey, man, it throws a twist in there, and you know, it's like an amusement park ride. You get up and you're all dizzy, and then Coach is like, all right, got another one, go.
We've got just a couple of just general questions. Do we have Walden Hiker asks, how has COVID-19 influenced recruiting? So how have we adapted to this new normal, and how are we recruiting more great wrestlers to come to Wisconsin?
Yeah, it's been unbelievable, right? It's affected it in every which way possible. We haven't been able to, you know, see a kid in person, you know, since March. We haven't had a kid on campus since March. We can't go watch a kid wrestle. Since, you know, we can't do anything that we usually do. Can't go to their houses. So we've had to come up with some unique ways of recruiting. And, you know, we have a wonderful staff here that has put together virtual presentations for us. You know, they've gone around campus taking pictures. So it's really affected it. And, you know, you feel bad for the student athlete. They're not getting a fair look at the university. They can't come on campus. They're having to make decisions without even being here. And it's not good for those guys, you know. So we encourage kids to, you know, to just basically wait until they can get on campus before making decisions. We want to make sure – our philosophy is always this. We want to make sure that our student athletes want to be at the University of Wisconsin. We don't want them making decisions because it's you know, a rush or anything like that. We want them to be here for all the right reasons, and hopefully we at some point we can get this recruiting ban lifted and start you know, getting these kids on campus.
Coach Reeder or Coach Gross, anything that you've seen adopted or some neat ways that you're able to reach out even in these challenging times?
No, I think Coach hit it, you know, right on. I think that we had to get really creative right out of the chute in March and putting together Zoom calls and different presentations. And we've done a great job as a staff and making sure that we're hitting all of our guys. And we're it's almost like we're in their house, right? Or we're bringing them onto campus in a virtual way. And I think we've done a great job, and the future's bright for us.
Yeah, I think you guys pretty much hit on it all. It's been right. This is my first experience with recruiting, so I don't really know what it was like to get. You know, I got recruited, so I know a little bit about it, but I don't know about all the face-to-face, you know, contact and things like that they were able to do before. But it's been cool. It's been, you know, we've created a lot of great relationships already, and our goal is to just, no matter what the situation around us is outwork every single other coaching staff in the country. And, you know, we got to adapt and we got to find ways to do it in a time like this. And I think we've done a great job. And, you know, we made presentations, you know, I'm on playing video games with some guys, different things like that, just getting creative with ways that we can really start connecting with these guys so they can really get to know our program and what we're really about.
General question, but do you guys have any thoughts or tips that you'd give to to high school coaches out there on improving practices that you've learned from your time in the community?
Well, I don't know what he's doing right now, right, to where they need improvement. But, I believe that you've got to just make sure that the kids are there for the right reasons. When you get to your culture set, right, you got to have a culture of the kids wanting to be there for the right reasons. Once that happens, you'll see improvement. High school you've got to figure out. High school, there's a lot of teaching that goes on. A lot of technical things have to be, because kids are still developing. You might get a first-year kid out there. And I'm also a big believer of not putting a first-year kid up against a two-time state champion in your wrestling room, because it's going to be a slaughter, right? And we're going to start losing kids that way. I'm a believer in putting kids against their skill level in high school to make sure that we can keep developing them to where they can get good. But definitely, if there's a technical side, I think you've got to really try to develop the kid before anything else. Teach them the right mindset and make sure that they understand the culture of wrestling and take it from there.
Yeah, I'll jump on there too. I think that once you establish the culture of just growth, right? These guys are excited to come to practice and get better, and especially those guys that have never been exposed to it. That's first and foremost. But no doubt about it, I think at that level and at any level, even where we're at, we preach the fundamentals and keeping things basic. Basics win. Defending your legs, learning the basics of the sport is going to carry them on longer into their career. So. No doubt about it, learn those basics right away. It will help any high school program.
And Coach Gross, we've got kind of one final question. We'll start with you. What do you think the season's going to be like this year, and what are you looking forward to?
Right. A lot of things are up in the air right now, but I'm excited to get in the coaching corner for the first time at a UW duel in the field house. I think that's going to be, a special time. Get dressed up, looking good out there, and just coach these guys that, we've been putting in the work. I got to put in the work with them last year and compete with them. Now I'm flipping roles here. So I'm excited to, help these guys chase down their dreams and go kick some butt in the field house. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And whatever happens, we're going to be ready this season. So.
And Kyle, what are you looking forward to this year?
Really this year, I'm pretty excited about, like our dual situation and everything. I know, Coach Bono before some of our practices and some of our workouts was kind of explaining what it could look like. I mean, we don't really have anything set in stone per se yet. I think it's going to be a unique experience wrestling in our field house, or maybe we have a triangular against two other teams in the Big Ten and we wrestle both of them in one day, or maybe we got a quad and, you wrestle kind of a round robin type thing on, you wrestle three guys from three other Big Ten schools or something. But I'm excited for that. I think it'll be a different experience because some guys that I feel like feed off of crowd energy and feed off the the intensity and the excitement of atmospheres. It'll be a different experience for them. I know. I was very, very, very blessed to have awesome fan support and everything. But it wasn't in anything in astronomical numbers. So I kind of grew up that way, wrestling in quieter atmospheres or atmospheres that didn't have a lot of fans or anything. So, anything like that could play a factor in the way some guys perform. And I'm excited to see what our dual season looks like and moving forward, I'm most looking forward to seeing our W out there and just crushing guys again. It's been so long since we've seen, guys wearing W's on their chests that are just pounding guys into the mat and breaking their will. That's what we're working for.
Coach Reeder, your thoughts?
Well, I listening to Kyle talk gets me excited, and it shows the culture of this program and it just guys that want an opportunity to compete. This is what you're going to be watching out on the mat, guys that are hungry to compete, and very grateful for the opportunity. So like everybody said, we're grateful for wrestling coming back and just really excited to put a great product out there on the mat this year.
And Coach Bono, any closing thoughts there? That's our final question for the day.
Yeah, I'm excited to see these guys that lost that goal of being a national champion, being able to just compete again. This is what we do, and when we actually get out there and compete, that's what it's all about. So when we see our guys compete, that had that opportunity taken away, right? My biggest thing that I tell these guys is you can only ask for an opportunity, and then what you do with that opportunity is up to you. And when you have that opportunity taken away from you, it hurts. So hopefully there's an opportunity this year. Hopefully everybody stays safe and stays healthy, and we can have a Big Ten and national tournament. So that's it. Great episode. Start your week off right. And then, as always, jump around.